Hi, today I'd like to show you the plugin for Figma, which we made for Beatflyer. It is basically a light version that you can use to play with and make some interesting animations for free within Figma. So first of all, something important to note is that before we start animating and using the plugin, we want to have an artboard with some meaningful layers. There's no point to have 20, 30 layers. That would be very difficult after to animate in a kind of a practical way. So just make some groups, make sure that they're kind of grouped based on how you want to animate them, basically. Also make sure that the artboard is at the size of the final video that you want to create. So let's start the plugin. We can see all the layers have been imported. And also we can see here at the bottom is basically a timeline. This is the duration of your video. In this case, by default, is 15 seconds. This can be changed if you want. And I'll also show you where you are in real time. So let's start adding some effects. There are lots of effects that you can pick from. Very different types. So I'll just let you explore all of them. We don't have time to go through all of them, but just show you just a couple that are kind of useful. In this case, for background, for instance, using a color subtle makes a nice pulse effect. Something that we can see here, despite I don't have any soundtrack, there is already a beat applied automatically, which we can play. We can change it. And once you add the soundtrack, if you're using the Pro version, the BPM will be automatically detected. In this case, because there's no functionality in the Lite version of adding soundtrack, you can just decide yourself how frequent you want the pulsation. And also something to note on the effects, that you can choose basically what is the input. And this is quite important because, for instance, if you want to add more soft effects, which we don't want them to pulse every second or so, we can choose, for instance, an input which reflects the position in the timeline. In this case, for instance, you can see it's kind of in, zooming out, zooming in, depending on the position in the timeline. Okay? And I'll just let you play with all the others. And yeah, so here we have different layers. We might not want to animate all of them, but definitely it would be cool to animate the headers. In this case, let's add some kind of neon effects. And we can also add an effect to the other text, which we could also take a look. We can also make it kind of a contrary. As I mentioned, there are dozens of effects, from masks to overlays to split filters, and they're all very configurable. So I will just let you play with them, get to learn them, try them on different places. But we're just making a simple example here for this video. Once you're happy with your animation, you have two export options. One is an animated GIF, and the other is a video, MP4 video. When you use a GIF, because it's a kind of secondary use case, the animation might look a bit different to how you previewed before. So maybe just make sure you choose the right inputs and stuff like that. But the cool thing is that your GIF would be, if you're happy with it, would be compressed, so ready to be shared. And now just cancel it. And if you record the video, something to note is that it will be rendered in front of you. So you have to wait for the rendering to happen, and will be automatically created as MP4. So you'll be again ready to share it as it is. And yeah, you can see if you like it, the video will be the size will be the same as the one you set. The compression should be quite good in terms of quality. And yeah, I just want to show you now some differences if you choose to play with the Pro version, which is basically available both on the web, but also as a standalone application. So here, besides having some templates that you can pick from, and you can customize them, for instance, you could just pick a template, for instance, this is like a sound podcaster. You can easily change the main colors, change the text, and yeah, to customize it. And it's like a very easy to edit the UI, but if you want and you're kind of familiar how all the layers and effects work, you can actually go inside the template and modify each layer individually. And also you can add different types of layers. So you can import pictures, of course, but you can also add text. You can add stickers, like the ones that you have in Instagram, for instance. And then you can add sound waves if you have a soundtrack, or you can even add the pictures from Flash. Very beautiful and professional pictures, which you can search as well. Yeah, so have fun with Beatflyer. I'm happy I could do a plugin where people can try for free and make something useful even without having to pay anything. So let me know how you find it. Bye.